South Africans only get 5 cents of value for every rand paid in tax. Here's why. Have you ever wondered how much value you really get for the taxes you pay? According to Economist Dawie Roodt, South African taxpayers receive less than 5 cents of value for every rand they hand over to SARS. That's right. For every R1 you pay, you get under 1 cent in return in terms of public services and benefits. Shocking, right? In a recent analysis featured on Daily Investor, Roodt revealed just how concentrated South Africa's tax system really is. Out of the entire population, less than 1% of people, just around 235,000 high-income earners, contribute nearly one-third of all personal income tax collected by the government. And roughly 1.5% of the population pays over 60% of all income taxes. This means that a very small group of people are shouldering most of the country's tax burden. Roodt explains that if the government were perfectly efficient, meaning no corruption, no waste, and no mismanagement, the value citizens would get back from their taxes would still be under 5%. That means for every R1000 you pay, you might only receive about R50 worth of value in return. And since we all know there's a lot of waste in government spending, and the real number could be even lower. This situation poses serious risks for the country's financial future. Roodt warns that South Africa is heavily reliant on its wealthiest, most skilled citizens to fund public services. But many of these high earners are choosing to leave the country. Between 2020 and 2024, more than 108,000 South Africans emigrated. That's roughly 27,000 people every year, or about 74 leaving every single day, and most of them are the very taxpayers and professionals that the country depends on. When one high-income household emigrates, the state doesn't just lose their tax money. It loses the funds that could have supported nearly 20 other families through public services. This creates a dangerous cycle. The more people leave, the more pressure falls on those who remain, and the less value they get for their taxes. Root's argument is not just about numbers, it's about trust. When taxpayers feel like their money isn't being used efficiently, they lose faith in the system. Roads are full of potholes, hospitals are underfunded, schools are struggling, and yet citizens continue paying some of the highest tax rates in Africa. It's a growing frustration that pushes many to ask, what am I really getting in return? While some argue that redistribution, where the rich pay more to help the poor, is necessary for social balance, Root's analysis questions whether South Africa's current system is sustainable. If too many high earners leave, the government will have fewer resources to fund essential services, leading to more strain and potentially higher taxes for those who stay behind. In the end, this report paints a concerning picture of South Africa's economic reality. The country depends on a tiny portion of taxpayers, yet fails to give them fair value for their contribution. Unless corruption is tackled, wastage reduced, and spending made more efficient, South Africa risks losing not just its money, but the very people who keep its economy alive. So the big question remains, are South Africans really getting value for their taxes? Or are they just paying for a system that gives back less than 5 cents for every rand earned?